to start off with, though, we will head into some news. I think there's not really too much news, like I said before. The major news, of course, being that Patriots star wide receiver Julian Edelman has retired. He the Patriots terminated the contract because he failed the physical, and then after that, Julian Edelman announced his retirement. I mean, for me, Arib, I still don't believe he's fully retired. I think he will return to play. I think he's probably going to go to the Bucks still. That's just me. A lot of these dudes, like I know Edelman definitely wished he was on the Bucks last year. He even expressed it publicly many times. Maybe not directly, but he would always like be like, damn, I wish I was in like in Brady's spot. Like and I guess that's something that he missed out on last year, and adding another Super Bowl ring could have been that for him. But yeah, I think if this is all that it is for Edelman, he's had a great playoff career, great regular season career too. He's been the wide receiver one many times for the New England Patriots year in and year out. He did have his injury record. He did have quite an injury record, I should say. So the injury just kept on like, creeping up on him, and eventually he had to call it quits. And even this past year, his last year, he's missed a lot of games. So I definitely respect the decision, and I think he may have made the right one here, and ending it here. Great legacy, Hall of Fame career. I think it's up to the public to decide that. I think I should say the Hall of Fame voters to decide that. Obviously, he's made quite the impact in the playoffs for the Patriots. He's been probably the most valuable player for that Patriots offense, minus Tom Brady in the playoffs. I can definitely say that. Regular season impact, I don't know if he has necessarily any regular season impact because Tom Brady just gets the job done in the regular season, no matter who the weapons are. So, but that being said, this is just a respect to Julian Edelman. He's won multiple Super Bowl rings, won the Super Bowl MVP. That's a big accomplishment too. Great career, and wish him nothing but the best for the future.
Yeah, and I think we've finally reached them all the point in the off season where people are retiring and we're gonna have our yearly is and insert name of player here, a Hall of Famer. And in my honest opinion, if you have to ask that question, then I don't believe you are a Hall of Famer. That being said, though, I don't want to take anything away from Julian Edelman's career. And I actually love Julian Edelman. He and Doug Baldwin were probably my two favorite wide receivers the last like 5 years or so. I just love everything about Julian Edelman, his story, seventh round player. I mean, really, what the story of Julian Edelman is very similar to the story of a Tom Brady or someone like that, where you just grind your butt off and eventually, with enough luck, you can get to where you want to be in life. This guy was a college quarterback at what, Kent State? Like, I don't even know where Kent State is. I'll be honest. Like, I've heard the name before only because I know Julian Edelman went there, but really his story is the story that you grind your butt off, and if you try hard enough, you can achieve anything. And yeah, that's what his legacy is going to be. I don't really want to tarnish his legacy by saying, is he a Hall of Famer, is he not? I don't even think he'll probably think he's a Hall of Famer, in all honesty, because I don't think he was ever a top 5 player at his position for any like sustainable amount of time. But that being said, his legacy shouldn't be taken away as whether or not he was a Hall of Famer. It should be that this guy was a 7th round pick, went from playing behind great players like Randy Moss and Wes Welker to literally being the most reliable target for the greatest quarterback of all time. And like you said, Super Bowl MVP for a wide receiver is super hard to do, and he got it done. So I think by sort of pivoting his retirement to, is he a Hall of Famer? No, he's not a Hall of Famer, because again, I take Julio Jones over him, Calvin Johnson, all these players. And people do say, yeah, he had great playoff stats. He also played a ton of playoff games, but also like if you were to include his playoff stats, that would be taken away from other players like Calvin Johnson, who never made the playoffs, or, like a Brendan Marshall, who I think actually never made the playoffs. And those guys have, I mean, Calvin Johnson already made the Hall of Fame. And I think Brendan Marshall, just another guy off the top of my head, has a way better shot at making the Hall of Fame than Julian Edelman does. I think just narrowing it down to, oh yeah, his playoffs are really good is probably not the best way to go about it. Because was he ever the best wide receiver in the playoffs, even like throughout a certain stint in the playoffs? Like, I don't know. Like, that's definitely up for debate. But I think trying to pivot his thing to his conversation to is he a Hall of Famer is taking away from his legacy. Because again, his legacy is hard work and grinding it. And then eventually you can achieve whatever you want.